Well, James Kennedy is breaking his silence, and he is now launching an investigation into the cops that have arrested him. And Allie seems to be sticking by him, and Nick Viall seems to be speaking out against them. There's a lot to get into. Let's hit it. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's up, guys? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. How's it going today? Hey. Whew. So much to get into. Obviously, yesterday we had the news that broke that James Kennedy was arrested. We dove into all of that. Just to give you a little recap from the top, make it drop. That's some wet and gushy. James Kennedy and Allie Luber, his girlfriend, attended the DirecTV Christmas at Kathy's holiday party. They appeared to, or James appeared to have gotten a little lit. And now here we are. He got arrested later that night. It looks like he was arrested. I believe it was like about 10, 11 p.m. is when cops showed up, took him into custody. He was released about like 2, 3 a.m. on $20,000 bail. And now he's officially speaking out and breaking his silence. So we will dive into all of that. But before we do, just a reminder, there is a new episode of the Pop Report out today. So you can check out 2 new episodes of the Pop Report. We also have Ben from Watch What Crappens, who's on the Pop Report this week. We dive into Dorit and PK, Brandy Glenville Space, all of that fun stuff. Which Terry Dubrow I saw just came out and he was just like, listen, Brandy doesn't have a parasite in her face. They're microorganisms, and I know what's going on, and I know how this happened, and it wasn't by eating something. It was probably through an injection, and she needs help, and I'm willing to help her. And so Terry Dubrow seems to have some solutions, and he wants to fix Brandy Glenville's face. So good for her. We'll see what happens with that. But I open Pandora's box for you. Where is Pop Report? Pop Report, it's available on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple. You can watch it on YouTube. There is a YouTube channel. So yeah. Also, guys, be sure to get your Zacktivated and Zack Pack merch ordered in time for the new year. Zack Pack t-shirts, Zacktivated tank tops, Zack Pack hoodies. Be sure to get them in. I know we've missed the Christmas deadline, but that doesn't mean that we can't still have some fun merch to rock in the new year. Can't believe we're already at the end of 2020. What's 2024? We're already into 2025. Like, how did that happen? But you can stock up on merch from Merch Labs with the link in the description below. Thank you guys for supporting me. I saw this morning we were number 19 on the Apple Top 100, which is crazy. I was like, wow, number 19. That's pretty good. Solid. You guys love the James Kennedy coverage. So there you go. Breaking news. Get the exclusive right here on No Filter with Zack Peter. So thank you for that. Love you. Appreciate you. Always. Okay, let's which, by the way, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, please continue to leave me those reviews. I love those reviews. I love all that validation. You guys are so good to me. And just please keep letting me know what you're enjoying about the show. Let's do a review shout out and we'll get into all of the tea. All of the tea. I open Pandora's box for you. In the rocks for you. We're gonna own the night. Pink's Beach said, love you, Zack. Thank you for your pod, which I appreciate. Thank you. Black Puma said, what happened was about Jay-Z and Beyonce. I didn't even really, did we really talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce? Maybe, oh yeah, we did the other day. What happened was family business. That we just happened to catch a glimpse of. As for Disney, Jay-Z is only accused with an anonymous accuser. So we definitely have Jay-Z apologists in the live chat. Or sorry, not in the live chat, in the Apple Podcast reviews. So to all the Jay-Z fans, thanks. Okay, let's dive into it. James Kennedy has issued a statement on behalf of his attorney. And it appears that James Kennedy seems to believe that he is innocent. And so he has now decided to launch an internal investigation that his attorneys want to do. Um, Oof. James Kennedy. So here's the statement that his attorneys have issued. He said, "We are in the process of conducting our own investigation into the allegations levied by the Bank Police Department against James. We understand that there were no injuries, and we are hoping that after careful review, the city's attorneys will decide not to file formal charges." Um, a police spokesperson confirmed that they were called to the scene after a neighbor reported seeing an argument between a man and a woman. The man and the woman were James and Ellie. The investigation determined that it was a domestic incident leading to James Kennedy's arrest. James was booked for a misdemeanor domestic violence and later posted bail. Formal charges are pending review by the Burbank City Attorney's Office. So some people are like, well, he doesn't say that he's innocent. And I'm like, well, ding dong, you don't launch an internal investigation against the police department if you are trying to prove that you're guilty. Like, what do you think? You just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all of which is and what came before you. Okay. So if you want to become unburdened by what has been, then, take a seat and take some notes. He's launching an investigation so that he can prove that there was wrongdoing by the police department so that they don't file formal charges against him. He's hoping that they can get the charges dropped, which at this point, it's looking that may actually be the case because it's like, how are you actually going to determine if there were no visible markings, which is what his attorneys are leaning on, but like I said, they clearly saw something. They were arrested at their home, or he was arrested at their home in Burbank. So it wasn't like he was out and about at a bar and he was getting sloppy and he was drunk and he was arrested for, public intoxication or a drunken disorderly. He was arrested for a domestic violence, suspicion of domestic violence. So they did suspect there was something that gave them cause to take him in and arrest him. There was something that felt that it was better that Allie was alone without James rather than spending the night with James in the house. Laura says she's holding space for the investigation. We should all hold space. But it was just funny because people are like, he didn't say that he was innocent in his statement. I was like, well, he didn't say he was guilty. He said he wanted to launch an internal investigation with the hopes of not having formal charges filed against him, which means, guess what? I either want to get off on a technicality or I'm fighting for my innocence. So BB says, okay, but an arrest is mandatory with one party or the other party with the domestic violence call. Not always. I actually don't believe that that's true. I do know that they can. I know that they can still arrest even if like the quote unquote victim doesn't want to press charges. Like they can arrest you if there has to be cause, right? They can't just be like, "Hey, we're taking you in for the night, and you have to post bail if you want to get out." You know. Um, oh, okay. So Emily Hayton in the live chat is saying, 911 dispatcher here. I've been subpoenaed many times for domestic calls. This is common practice for the defense attorneys to try and find any cracks. Yeah, try and find cracks to prove his innocence. Like, again, like they're not investigating him because, they want to help the investigation prove that he's guilty, you know? Danny says this all cannot keep on being swept under the rug. There's too much smoke over the years. Yeah, that's the thing. There is too much smoke, and eventually something was going to come to light. And my thing again is I don't think that the neighbors called because this is the first time that they've seen or heard something. I think they probably know that there is a history here. Like I said, I've had neighbors, in the last building that I lived in that I remember there were a number of domestic disputes and I was conflicted. I was like, do I report this? Do I call the cops? Do I call the front desk? Do I call security downstairs? Like, who do I call? And the first few times I didn't call anybody because I was like, I don't know what to, like, I don't know. Should I get involved? Is it my business to get involved? And they ultimately, ended up moving and breaking up and whatever, but like, it was not good. Myra says in California, complaint of pain but no visible injuries is a misdemeanor DV. Visible injuries is a felony DV. So, are we saying that we think that just based off of this call, James was arrested? Um, I mean, but are we not at all concerned by the fact that a neighbor saw him grab her, whether there were visible markings on her or not? They saw like somebody called in and reported that he had physically grabbed her, which tells me, and if he did this outside, not inside their home, but it sounds to me like maybe this was when they were getting out of an Uber, out of the car, and getting into the home, and they were in an argument, whatever. It sounds like if he grabbed her and he physically put his hands on her, um, to me, that's alarming, and to me, that's probably not the first time he's ever done this. Like, the fact that people are defending this to me is kind of it's kinda wild. Like, did I just fall out of a coconut tree? Um, Laura says he's trying to work the system. Yeah. Listen, and that's what your attorneys are supposed to do, right? They're supposed to come and try to find any loopholes they can to get their client off. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't think he'll get charged. I don't either, BB. I think they're gonna find I mean, again, the fact that there were no visible markings. It sounds like Allie, from what I'm hearing, is sticking by her man. She is definitely not coming out against him. From what I've heard, if anything, she's annoyed by all of the reports of the arrest because now people are like coming to her and asking her about this, and I guess she doesn't want to talk about it. So she said that all of these reports are annoying her. So she definitely doesn't seem to think James did anything wrong. She seems to be standing by her man. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I mean, listen, if two of his exes, both Kristen Doty and um, Rachel Leviss, have spoken out about this, or alluded to things, Teddy and Tamara said that and listen, Allie and James also were very much, denying that anything happened in the car when they were with Teddy and Tamara, where Teddy and Tamara said that they witnessed something, and Allie was like, they witnessed nothing. Like, so there have been other people that have seen things, and Allie's just been like, no, nothing ever happened. I know people are pulling into question like Raquel when she got her nose job, and then she's like, oh my God, James accidentally bumped into me and I had to get my nose job redone. How do you accidentally bump into somebody's nose? I've never accidentally bumped into someone's face before, but that's just me. I don't know. I didn't fall out of a coconut tree. Maybe some of you guys do accidentally bump into people's faces all the time. I don't know. Did you see what oh, yes, Jamie Sheena's old podcast co-host posted, apparently production new, and Brittany is so happy right now with her or Bethany is so happy right now with her reckoning. Yes, Bethany's like, "I'm causing change in the industry," and they protected him. Yes, so let's actually talk about that. So we talked about James. He issued a statement. He's launching an investigation against the Burbank PD. Allie is annoyed with the reports. She's standing by her man. But this is what other people have come out and said. So bringing up Jamie, who was Sheena's old podcast host and a good friend of Sheena's, she posted on Instagram after the news broke a very long statement, and I'm going to read it to you. So Jamie Lynn writes, I don't even want to show his face because she reposted the article from TMZ and she covered it with all of this text. She said, I don't even want to show his face, but this is why I had to distance myself from so many people who stuck by him. I'm assuming she's alluding to Sheena. Um, by so many people who stuck by him, posted with him, supported his shows because we were all given the same information that goes way beyond this report. It's also why I had a hard time podcasting as I was scared to say too much, but also disappointed in myself for self-censoring to protect friends' jobs. Also seems like she may be alluding to Sheena. I never wanted to be the reason a show got canceled or friends lost jobs, but now that the show is done with the cast, I feel I can say more. Ethically, as a fierce supporter of DV victims and a survivor myself, I tried to teach other women around this that it is not okay to bring an abuser around the very women he abused. I also had conversations with NBC Universal and Bravo producers about how this abuser should not have a platform. It sickened me to see so many women unknowingly supporting him. So it seems like Bravo and NBC were aware of the allegations. Obviously, Kristen has alluded to them. She tried to bring them up at a previous reunion. I believe Tom Sandoval had also referenced something about James grabbing, I believe it was a waitress. Rachel Leviss has alluded to things. So she continues on by saying, I hope this will change the minds of those who gave him the benefit of the doubt and wrote the multiple women off as not reliable. Always believe the victims. The issue was the victims, like Kristen or Rachel, weren't blatantly saying anything. I think they were afraid that if they actually accused him of anything, that there could be ramifications on them. So I think that's why people didn't believe them. I think they, believed, like, there were insinuations, but there was never a direct accusation of James did this to me. Right. So I think there was a lot of skepticism around that. But now that we have an actual arrest, we have a neighbor that is reporting that they have gone on record now by reporting this to the cops that they witnessed this. That's where things have now changed. Now there's actual, evidence that is in support of these claims from the past. Jamie Lynn continues saying, I hope that this is a rock bottom for him and he needs to get the help he needs. I hope his victims who choose not to say something in order to get more TV time realize they put other people in harm. Now it feels like she may be alluding to Christian Doty here. She said, and I hope the one woman who has been carrying this trauma for years while friends will bring him around, will be vindicated and share her story. I'm assuming that that's in relation to Kristen Doty, that she's hoping that Kristen Doty will now share her story, which, oof. Then, there were all these I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of years ago, there was this post that Logan had posted on Instagram. Logan, no, remember he was the one that was allegedly, him and James like had allegedly hooked up and he was like alluding to like, you're in love with me. Like this was a few seasons ago. It was it's not about the posture, Lala, that season. Remember, and Lala, the producers were telling Lala like to bring this up on camera. And she's like, I don't want to bring up these rumors about James being gay. I mean, listen, being gay and not accepting yourself could build up a lot of, resentment and tension inside you. But so this is a post that Logan had posted a while back. And he had said, mourning the loss of my friendship with James after he has proven himself to be a gross and terrible human being. He treats people like they are trash and physically assaults anyone that stands in his way. After he broke my nose tonight over nothing, I've decided to end my friendship for good. So Logan had spoken out and like was very clear that James broke his nose. I forgot about this. I remember this came out. It was around that. It's not about the pasta, Lala. And so I think what happened is a lot of people ended up protecting James as a result of, um, you know, not wanting to get into this messy situation, right? It's one thing to talk about cheating, but it's another thing to talk about DV. And so I think people just didn't want to touch it with the 10-foot pole. But it's wild to now start to see all of these things come out and say that people were talking to the producers and, you know, Melissa says Katie's ultimatum to LVP about James doesn't look so bad all of a sudden now. Yeah. I didn't know he broke the nose. Yeah. See, here's the thing. How does James keep accidentally running into people's noses? Rachel's nose, Logan's nose. I mean, well, we kind of know that like he could have broken Logan's nose, with a blowy, but like, come on. It's so wild to me that all of these things have continued to surface and resurface again. Um, but yeah, it's wild. Rachel's attorneys also spoke out. Keep your nose away from James. I mean, no shit. Um, Yeah, Rachel Levis's attorney spoke out. They said that we're aware of James Kennedy's recent arrest for domestic violence. This news is unfortunately not surprising. Rachel's lawsuit describes in significant detail Mr. Kennedy's long history of erratic and violent behavior and substance abuse. Kristen keeps winning. I mean, yeah, no shit. Okay. Ugh. Okay, let's get into what Nick Viall has claimed against James Kennedy and what went down at Kathy's party, and then we'll talk about the other cast members because there appears to be some new drama that has taken center stage with these other cast members. Dun dun dun. But before we do, guys, hello. I wanted to give you a little recommendation. If you're looking to look a little snatched in the new year, then I highly recommend you check out Lipozene. Lipozene is a weight management supplement that helps the customer, which is you, reach your desired weight by helping you feel full faster. I like to take it before dinner. Because it helps me beat those late night cravings, those late night snackaholic cravings. With over 35 million bottles sold, Lipozene is one of America's most trusted weight loss management supplements. Lipozene is hassle-free, fits right into your lifestyle, so there doesn't need to be any drastic changes. Lipozene contains no stimulants, is non-GMO, gluten-free, and caffeine-free, which means there are no jitters, okay? It's shipped discreetly right to your door, starting at just $29.95. You have 1 month to try it. If you don't like the results that you get, you can give them a call back and return it for the purchase price. Terms and conditions do apply. Shipping, absolutely free. Some supplements cost up to $500 a month, but with Lipozene, you can get started for just $29.95, a price that's accessible to just about anyone. I mean, come on, that's less than 30 bucks to try it for 30 days. That's less than $1 a day. Lipozene contains glucomannan, and scientific studies recognize that glucomannan has the ability to support weight management with a combination of a balanced diet and healthy lifestyle. The fiber in lipozene can absorb water and expand up to 200 times its weight, and this is what helps you feel fuller quicker when you take it with water before meals. Okay. To start losing weight with lipozene, all you have to do is take 2 capsules with 8 ounces of water at least 30 minutes before your 3 largest meals of the day. If no 2 days are the same, don't even worry about it. No 2 days are the same for me. Like I said, I always like to take it, especially with dinner in the evenings. That way I can cut those late night cravings. If you want to give it a try, then you can use promo code NOFILTER and head on over to lipozene.com. For this trial offer, go to Lipozene, 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 Lipozene.com, and use promo code NOFILTER. All right, this is your chance. Give it a try. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to regret it because I'm enjoying it, I'm liking it, and I'm pretty confident that you will too. Now, not only that, but I have to tell you that today's episode is brought to you by Zippix. Zippix. This episode is brought to you by Zippix Nicotine Toothpicks. Zippix brings you a totally satisfying, convenient, and great tasting way to curb your nicotine cravings. Now you can get your nicotine fix anytime, anywhere without having to rely on smoking or vaping. Zippix Toothpicks gives you an easier, better, and more discreet way to get your fix. They're available in 6 long-lasting flavors, and they have options in 2 milligrams or 3 milligrams of nicotine. Look at right here. This one's Spice Island Clove, but they also have cinnamon. They have peppermint watermelon, and they're toothpicks. You can chew on them rather than having to worry about smoking, which, I mean, are we still into smoking? I mean, Dorit Kemsley, somebody hit up Dorit and let her know it's time to check out some Zippix. They're perfect for flights, sporting events, restaurants, and literally everywhere that smoking and vaping are banned. They're also one of the most cost-effective nicotine products on the market. Zippix also has offers in caffeine and B12 infused toothpicks. So if you're not a nicotine user, that's all right. You can still give Zippix a try. Or if you're willing to get away from your nicotine habit, Zippix is a great choice. Zippix have already helped tens of thousands of customers get their nicotine fix without needing to inhale smoke or vape oils. Make your lungs happy and try Zippix nicotine-infused toothpicks. Ditch the cigarettes and give Zippix a try, okay? Ditch the cigarettes, ditch the vape. Get some nicotine-infused toothpicks at zippixtoothpicks.com. Zippix is spelled Zippix, Zippix, zippixtoothpicks.com today. Get 10% off your first order by using code NOFILTER at checkout. Use code NOFILTER at zippixtoothpicks.com. Your lungs will be glad you did. Must be 21 or older to order. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix nicotine toothpicks. Okay, let's talk about, well, Janelle, let's talk about Nick Viall, because Nick Viall is ready to mention it all. So he was at the party with Kathy Hilton and James Kennedy and Allie, were there any other Vanderpump people there? I think Brittany was there. Brittany Cartwright. So Nick Viall is saying that he saw James Kennedy. He talked about this on his podcast because, of course, he's going to do that. He said he saw James Kennedy at Kathy Hilton's party, and he met him for the first time. They took a photo together, and after their photo together, he said that later in that night, he saw James like snapping and making demands at his friend. So James and Allie, I guess, brought somebody else with them to the party. And James is like, oh my God, this is my best friend. That's how Nick says that he introduced him as James's best friend. And so even though this was James's best friend, he said that he saw him barking orders at him afterwards, like, here, hold my drink. And James, just from what I've heard from other people, this kind of goes in line with James's kind of erratic behavior. Which is not really that surprising. People said that they definitely seemed to think that James was under the influence based off of their interactions with him. So Nick Viall seems to be standing by that claim as well. I don't think Nick Viall has any reason to lie. Like I said, other people there was, like, a story I heard of, like, James trying to, like, jump over the pool, which to me also doesn't really sound like somebody that is sober. Um, I'm not saying that I know for certain that he was not sober. I'm just saying after talking to people that were at the party, it appears that he was under the influence of some sort of substance. Whatever it was, it does not seem like he had a very good night that night. Something seemed to be off. I don't know why he and Allie were fighting, but as we know, he didn't come with her the following day to the Windsor event. Um, Books We Love said, I listened to Heather McDonald's Patreon and she said that he looked fine. That's interesting. BB said, have you seen him like that at events, jumping around, super hyper? I've only met James one time, and that was the Bourbon Room, the infamous night of the Bourbon Room after Sheena's show. I did see James downstairs in the green room. He wasn't very nice. He seemed like he wanted to get out of there. Allie was very sweet to me. She was like, "Oh my god, I love you, and it's so nice to meet you." And I was like, "Yeah, it's so nice to meet you." And so, she was very lovely to interact with. James seemed kind of just annoyed and like he wanted to leave, and so I didn't have much of an interaction with him other than that brief moment. Christina said, "Of course, Heather is saying that she wants to be around all." Listen, I don't know. Melissa says James looked a bit off on those red carpet pics. He did. Um, he was just like really red, right? His eyes were red and glossy. I don't know. I mean, but also like he could be just snappy towards his friend because that's just his personality in general. We don't know what the full situation was, but in the club, we all fam. Emotionally unavailable Ken sold separately. What are we talking about? Oh, because you're borderline personality, Barbie. That's funny. Something looked off. Yeah, he just didn't look like he was having a good night in those photos. Um, but like also if you weren't having a good night, like you didn't need to go to the party because Ali said the reason he didn't go to the Windsor party is because he doesn't like going out and he's not drinking and I don't know. James gets mean when he drinks too much. Yeah, so it does make sense that maybe he was drinking and that's when he got a little snappy and then he popped off on Allie and popped off on his best friend. I don't know. Randomly, Ronnie Jr. says, gosh, this is such a tough story. Hopefully, there's more to the story, but his past shows that he does have a temper, oddly or not. Oddly or not oddly, Christian Doty IG'd the article saying finally, yeah, we discussed that yesterday. So, like I said, Teddy and Tamara allegations, the Rachel Leviss insinuations, the Kristen Doty insinuations, um, this what do you call it? This statement from Logan about when James broke Logan's nose, and then we have the statement from Jamie Lynn, who used to be a co-host or who used to help co-host Sheena's podcast. She was very close with them. Like there are too many people that are saying things at this point. And it does become challenging and it does become a little dicey because it's like once one person says something, then another person wants to say something, and then another person's like, well, I saw this on, 4 years ago in a back alley. I think I saw that. And so everybody does like to pile on. But I just feel like at this point there have been too many vague insinuations that it doesn't sound like, it doesn't sound like this is too far of a stretch. But I mean, also, Fair to be said, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. I don't think that any charges will be filed against him, though. I just don't think there's enough concrete evidence that they have against him. If there are no markings on Ellie, if he didn't do anything to her directly in front of the cops, and there's no body cam footage, um, and if she's not willing to press charges, then I think at this point it's very, very likely that there will not be any charges filed against him. He will say he's been vindicated. He'll say he's been exonerated, and he'll just continue to go back to being who he is. And the network and everybody else will continue to stand by him because there were no charges that were ever filed, and he beat it because he's innocent and whatever. And we're just going to continue to give him a pass. That's my prediction. He's going to get off with it because at this point, I don't know how they would be able to stick the charges to him, you know? Oh, yeah. When does the mugshot drop? Let's see if the arrest log has been updated yet. Or are we still on the 8th? Okay. Oh, we have December 9th. The December 9th arrest log was dropped this morning. So we still don't have the December 10th arrest log. Where do we get the mugshots? I'm pretty sure the mugshot will be released tomorrow um, if the what do you call it? If the arrest log is dropped tomorrow. Oy, oy, oy. Look at Bernardo was arrested. William was arrested. Oh, those are the only two that were arrested. Oh, but one of them has all of their information redacted. Ooh, he was arrested for a DUI. Bernardo Jr. He's a vendor. Interesting. Bernardo Jr. And then we have William. And William was arrested. Why was William arrested? Controlled substance possession. What? William. Traffic stops for VC violations. Driver was arrested for possession of drugs. William, your mother is not going to be happy about this. Oh, William's 5'6", 220. He's a little thick with it. He's a mechanic. What substances did he have? Ooh, then we have Zoris. Zoris was arrested for shoplifting. What? Zoris stole a wallet and watches from Nordstrom Rack, but there was no surveillance footage available. Oops, sounds like Zoris is going to get off. Sounds like false imprisonment to me. Oh, Brittany Marie was arrested the night before James' spot. We should go through the log to see when's tomorrow's log comes out with James. We'll go through that. But Brittany Marie, what was she arrested for? Theft. Wow. Shoplifting with a loss of $121, and they do have surveillance video available. Wow. 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 She does not have an occupation. Well, Brittany Marie, none of them posted bail. Yeah, none of them posted bail. Monica Guadalupe was also arrested for shoplifting. Why is everybody shoplifting in Burbank? What is Burbank the place to go to shoplift? Well, actually, Burbank is not the place to go to shoplift because Burbank is where you get caught for shoplifting. Okay, that was fun looking at the Burbank. Sorry, I got distracted. Don't go down this road, Zack. Which road? The arrest log road or the well, Janelle, let's not shoplift in Burbank because chances are you're gonna get caught. Okay, let's get into some other tea that I got from so the Vanderpump Rules cast has not spoken out about the James and Allie situation at all. They seem to kind of be like shying away from it. They don't want to touch it, right? Well, I hear that Lala and Sheena were hanging out last night, and apparently there was a little tiff between Lala and Sandoval's new girlfriend, Victoria. Apparently, Victoria called Lala and pissed off Lala, and Lala was not happy about it. And Victoria was like, "I'm sorry." She was like trying to apologize, but Lala does not like Sandoval's new girlfriend. I don't know what they talked about on the phone, but apparently they had some sort of phone call last night, and Lala is not pleased with her and doesn't like her. Lala already barely likes Sandoval, let alone why would she want to talk to Victoria? Like the fact that Victoria even thought that this was a good idea. I don't know. Sheena is in Hawaii, I thought. Is Sheena in Hawaii? Well, Sheena was with Lala last night, I'll tell you that. Let's see. Is Sheena in Hawaii? I, I, Harley's in Hawaii. I. Oh, it does look like Sheena's in Hawaii. Or is it that Sheena was in Hawaii and she's just now posting about it? Because I feel like they do that a lot too, where they don't post in real time, which makes sense for like safety and security. Um, oh yeah, see, she did a Hawaii photo dump 2 days ago. So I'm assuming the stories that she posted yesterday are also from when she was in Hawaii. The Hawaii photo dump. Wow, so cute, so fun. Her and Summer Moon living their best life. But yeah. Who does Lala like? Um, Herself? I haven't been to Hawaii in a very long time. I haven't been to oh, yeah, Maui's the only place in Hawaii that I've been to, and it's been many, many years. I must have been 11, 12, 10, 9, 8. No, I had to have been at least like 10, 11. Yeah, no. Mm, how old were them? Maybe I was younger than that. Maybe like 8 or 9. Yeah, maybe like 8 or 9. Lala likes Zack. She does like me. I don't think she has a reason to not like me. They are both there. Oh, they're both in Hawaii? So why are people trying to make it seem like I'm reporting something that's not accurate if they're both in Hawaii? Regardless, they were together, okay? Um, Lala has her, well, yeah, Lala hasn't posted about where she's at. And she also hasn't posted anything to her feed since December 4th. So we don't know where Lala's at. Lala, Lala, Lala. Ay, ay. Harley's in Hawaii. Ay. True fizz. Did you go to a luau? I did go to a luau. Randomly, Ronnie Jr. says, do we think Victoria really wasn't familiar with Sandoval before they met? She said that on his pod and was so likable, but who's not heard of Sandoval during that last few years? I mean, I'm sure like she kind of was aware of him, but I don't know. I think it's within the realm of possibility that like we don't often hear of all of these reality stars. Like if I started dating somebody, I don't know, I'm pretty sure there are like people on like Love and Hip Hop or like other controvert or TLC. And if I were to date one of them, people would be like, you've never heard of so and so, you've never heard of Big Ed, and yet you're now dating Big Ed. And I would have been like, no, I didn't really know anything about Big Ed. And that would be the truth. I just know he has no neck. Okay. And sometimes, you know, it's fun to ride something that has no neck because it's like a whack-a-mole. You're like, boop, stop talking to me. Boop, you know? Is that body shaming? Sorry. So, yeah. Brittany says, if you listen to Lala's podcast, it seems her and Randall have communication again, which makes me so happy. Their daughter deserves that. Yes. I did see that. They do seem to be, co-parenting very well. You've never heard of Stevie J. Who the hell is Stevie J? I don't know who Stevie J is. But if I start dating Stevie J, then you can believe that I've never heard of Stevie J. Yeah. Shelby says, shut up. I'm dead. Why are you dead? Did somebody smash in your head too? That's what Big Ed looks like. He looks like somebody got Randall Emmett and just like smashed him together, right? They just like smashed him from the top and the bottom. They're just like boom, boom, boom. Okay, now Randall Emmett is fun sized. Stevie J was Diddy's last friend. Oh no, that doesn't sound very good. Hopefully Big Ed stays off TV for a very long time. Why? What's wrong with Big Ed? He's adorable. He's a little fun size. You can just like put him on a backpack and carry him around with you. Ronnie says Stevie J is a music producer and from Love and Hip Hop, and he had a video with Eve back in the day. His beefcake is big. His beefcake is in his booty. Randall does look a lot like Big Ed's big brother. Yeah, he's bigger Ed. Okay. Um, all right, that's what I got for you for today. Anything else? Did we miss anything? I don't think so. I think we covered just about everything in terms of all the latest on James and um Yeah. So, I, hobbies in Hawaii. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any other breaking news that's come out. Oh, it was announced that Real Houses of Orange County had its largest audience in 5 years. That's good. 5% increase from last season compared to this season. So, who came back this season? Alexis and Shannon Bedore. Obviously, she was just zipping down the streets of Newport. Did you get some booty this morning? I did not get some booty this morning. Val Porter says Ronald Richards, Randall Emmett, and Big Ed are the same person. No, Ronald Richards is like the knockoff version, sleazy. Not a fan. Remember when I would call him Ronald McDonald and then he like got mad and he emailed me, he'd send me all his mean emails like, Zach, stop calling me Ronald McDonald. It hurts my feelings. I'm just like, really? Really? Okay. Hurts your feelings. Sorry. Sorry I called you Ronald McDonald. Like that was like a third grade insult. And he's like, that hurts my feelings. It's like, don't you have Erica to tweet about? Don't you have some panties of Erica's that you want to buy at an auction to sniff later? Elle says, I was just watching members only. Was there any good tea spilled at members only, Elle? Will you do a live tomorrow morning? Why am I doing a live tomorrow morning? When the booking photo comes out. Oh, maybe I will. Or maybe I'll just do an Instagram reel or something. We'll see. All right. That's what I got for you. Thank you guys. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I love you. I appreciate you. Give me a follow, Just Plain Zack. Follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack. Get your merch, guys. Go order your merch right now. The link is in the description below. It's hot. It's cute. It's sexy. It's going to be fun to rock. Send me your photos when you get them. Thank you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you do something fun. I hope you get lit. I hope you get laid safely, of course. Like, we don't want you to end up in jail, because if you do end up in jail, I'll get the arrest logs and I'll call you out. So, and just in case anybody was wondering, don't shoplift in Burbank, because that's where you're likely to get arrested, because apparently that's all people do in Burbank is they shoplift. Unless they're James Kennedy. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. And stay tuned. New episodes will drop on the podcast on Monday. We'll see if and when the mugshot drops. I'm assuming the mugshot will drop over the weekend. So we'll have something to discuss soon. All right, guys. Ciao for now. Love you, mean it. Appreciate you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And, try to look cute, at least before Brandon Glanville, or at least better than Brandon Glanville. Okay. Bye. Bye.